And you guys have been great to work with. I mean, buying a used Range Rover from a Mitsubishi dealer kind of sounds funny.
Yeah, it can be sketchy, but
Right.
But
Yep.
what I did see, it was a nice car. Does
Yeah.
that work?
Yeah. Well, we'll try it when we get back to Colorado.
Now that tells me something right there. Listen,
Once it's open and it gets stuck open, it's going to be a windy drive.
It's in the process of being taken and will be towed. By way of the red Chevy parked on level 3.
Hello, good afternoon now, I think. Yeah. 2:30, 2:45 p.m. And welcome to another Kyle Connor YouTube channel episode. You joined me in sunny Florida at Palm Beach International Airport. I woke up super early this morning. We left the house at around 4 o'clock, jumped on a plane here to Palm Beach. Well, I went to Atlanta first, then changed over. Typically in Denver, we get one-way flights, but here we had to do a quick stopover. And I'm here because I bought a car. And I want to reveal this car to you, tell you why I bought it. And that's what this channel is all about. It's about the cars that I own, the adventures I go on, and this sort of beginnings of the collection, if you will, the cars that I really love and enjoy and want to appreciate for time that goes on. So the one we're picking up today, assuming it's in good condition, is one that will stay around for the foreseeable future. So I got to walk to find the dealership, though. They claim they're right across the street from the airport. I have no idea how the heck I'm going to get there. We're going to try and find it. So you join me on a walkway in the back of Palm Beach International Airport. I didn't want to Uber. It was only just about a half a mile there. I was like, I'll just walk, save the Uber driver the trouble. I always feel bad taking short rides where they don't make much money. But we're looking for Palm Beach Mitsubishi. I think it's straight ahead for some distance. So I talked to some security guards over here and they said just walk on this way. I'm seeing a Model Y under a Tesla car cover. It's hot and windy, but it's about 0.8 or 0.9 miles over there. I was like, you know what? I need the exercise. I'm gonna walk it. I am also in no major rush. Sort of half expecting this to go through and half expecting me to have to book a flight home. You just never know with these things. All right, next time we should take an Uber. This is like, what the heck are we doing out here? Okay, Uber, next time I have to go anywhere. I just think they should make this more pedestrian friendly. But I think we're going right over there where that hotel is. So totally walking distance. Should be about another half a mile or so. Well, I guess since we're just walking, I should tell you what I've purchased. You all know I'm a huge Land Rover enthusiast. I've owned a few over the years. And what I ended up doing was actually buying another Range Rover. I really want to have one of every generation in the collection. I just love each generation for their own, things. So I bought the L322, and not just any L322. I bought my favorite generation, which is the Mark II. You see, from 03 to 05, they were pretty much all BMWs. Ford acquired Land Rover, and some of that started to get breathed in the year 06. A little bit was like a hodgepodge. 07, super awesome, reliable truck. So 07 to 09 is the sweet spot. The last L322 I owned was a 2010 supercharged. This is an 09, so just the middle generation, just before that one. And it's there's like trees rustling over here. It's like a mountain lion. It's gonna come and get me. Anyway, it's a Mark II, non-supercharged, naturally aspirated, 4.4 V8 Range Rover. Buckingham blue over tan, beautiful. Let's go find it. Nice M3 sitting in this parking lot, M3 Comp. Man, that grill's really starting to grow on me. I'm kind of liking it. We're at the Drive Shack. I think the dealership is just over there. I bought it at a Mitsubishi dealer. I'll tell you all why I bought that particular one in a second. This is a very Palm Beach car, E63 with the Rentec tune. Rentec's here in this town, by the way. So this thing probably has had the nuts kicked off of it doing top speed runs down the highway. Love that. Bought a few cars from Palm Beach before, actually. This one only has I think 55 or 56,000 miles on it. It's an '09. It's been babied, full service history. It's like a gem, and I got it for a steal, which is why I'm here. I'll explain the full deal in a little bit. Let's go meet Larry, my salesperson, who's awesome. Larry Gary. What a name. What a guy. Let's go find Larry. Guys, take a look at this. Our first glimpse. Palm Beach, Mitsubishi. That was really not that bad of a walk, actually. It's hot out here, though, and you guys know me, always wearing a sweatshirt. I think I'll attempt to cross the road here, and then we'll go over and find the blue Range Rover. These guys have been pretty good to work with so far, but I have to admit, I forgot to go to the bank yesterday to get a certified check. So I'm hoping I can just wire them money for it, or put it all on a credit card. Probably not. They probably wouldn't do that. Or I brought a regular physical check for them. We'll see what happens. Push button to cross. Windy. Let's do this thing. Here we are. Must be the world's nicest Mitsubishi dealer. You know, Mitsubishi for the last few years have struggled on product. They're just getting back into the game with the new Outlander PHEV like this one here. There it is. There's the Range Rover blocking an EV charging spot. Are you kidding me? That's really funny. Wow, it looks freaking awesome. But Mitsubishi dealers have had to work on or live on used product for a while. Now, I'm not sure how this thing ended up here, but here it is. Man, looks good, sits nice. We're gonna have to test the air suspension. Got a lot of stuff to look at. What kind of charging stations they have here. Webasto units. I just love that it's blocking a charging station. You could not even make that up. Needs a little bit of paint on the bumper. I knew about this. We're gonna have the bumper repainted. But wow, it really does look good for its age. Its mileage is low. Interior's looking beautiful. And like I said, this is part one of two because I'm just about to jump in this truck and drive it to Austin, Texas. So that should be pretty interesting. So not only are we blocking a charging spot, we're also halfway in a handicap spot. That is the most Range Rover thing to do, though, I guess. Let's go meet Larry, go inside and see how the heck I'm going to pay for this thing without a certified check. Got to get a little creative. So let's see how this goes. Just met Larry. What an awesome guy. There's a few little things that I know we're going to get fixed, just like typical Range Rover has a little bit of this on the seat. It's no problem. Things old. This kind of concerns me. I'm not sure why it's all torn up there. That I really have no idea, but it's really just these little padded panels that can be fixed. You can see someone at some point installed a laser system. We're going to, of course, get rid of that. You can see someone may have had some rings. I mean, it just needs a general paint correction. The back seat looks unused. Absolutely mint back here. This is probably the cleanest L322 for sale in the country that I could find of this generation. That's why I went for this one here. I actually found the posting. This is not necessarily a good sign here. You can see someone has been messing with the OBD port down here. So I wonder if they had cleared some check engine codes or something, but that's never a good sign. But I know what we're getting into with this. There are always a bit of basket cases. Tailgate sometimes rusts, and yes, we do have a little bit of rust right under here, but that's not unusual. Let's try the fold down, looking nice. Yeah, all is looking good. Well, you guys join me in the Range Rover now for the first time, and we're gonna take all Range Rovers of this generation have just destroyed keys, so we'll have to order some more of these. And then, of course, you know, the Mark II generation had the key here on the dash rather than down here. We also have the terrain response system, which is updated, but let's give it its first start ever. So, power cycle on, steering column somehow working. We'll go off on the fan just for a second so we can hear it, and starts up like it did on day one. How about that? Spare tire pressure is out. That likely is just because of the sensors actually going bad. So we'll order new sensors for all the wheels and tires. Rear fog, that's an easy one. And yeah, nothing looking too major. Let's get some AC cranking here. And so we'll go one up from base. We'll go automatic recirc. Make sure that gets cold while I get the camera set up. And then me and Larry, we're gonna go for our first drive. Yep. You guys join me in the Range Rover now with Larry Gary.
Hello.
What a name.
It is. It is. And, it's designed for the car business.
Yeah, it's perfect for the car business.
You know what I do to people all the time? Just like I didn't do it to you, but when people call me, they say, "What's your name?" I said, "Larry Garrett." Repeat it for me one more time, Larry Garrett. Let's say it again, Larry Garrett. You never forget.
That's awesome. It is the best name ever. I've told everyone about your name, and it's totally it's been wonderful. So we're sitting now in the Range Rover, 56,467 miles.
That's accurate.
As advertised.
Yep.
So thank you for that. And you guys have been great to work with. I mean, buying a used Range Rover from a Mitsubishi dealer kind of sounds funny.
Yeah, it can be sketchy, but it's no. Actually, it's really good because the company here is owned by a guy that's owned nothing but Cadillac stores for 40 years.
Oh, nice.
So the service quality, the aspect of taking care of customers, is still that Cadillac mentality. You got to take care of the people that's serving you and take care of your business.
Sure.
So we do that very well.
Well, you guys have been great to work with so far. And I think what we're going to do is just take the Range Rover on a little test drive, make sure the functions work.
Let's do that.
There was an issue with the navigation, which we've now determined is the Bluetooth module that's failed in the back. They all fail.
Okay.
And so easy to fix. We knew, but you presented that, up front with the vehicle. And so
that was an experience trying to do FaceTime with you
at
67 years old. That was a party.
Yeah, that was really fun.
So I know I showed you all kind of crazy things.
Yeah. So, typical Range Rover showing suspension faults here. So we're going to drive it and see if it self-levels its way out.
It drove really well.
Yeah, it did. Great. So, this is just all typical stuff that we're going to have to work with over time. And in due course, they make spring conversion kits for these. The only thing I don't want to have happen is for an airbag to drop and fall down completely. So,
and that's a part of the suspension system.
Yes. Yep. Okay. Yep. And so the suspension fault when you try and change the height is not uncommon.
Okay.
But that is just things you get into when you buy a used. How old is this thing now? 13 years old, 14 years old?
It's got a couple of birthdays.
Yeah. Sure. Absolutely. But brakes feel nice, and you guys changed the oil for me, which I really appreciate.
Absolutely.
So basically, we're just going to cruise, take it out on the road a little bit here.
Fine with me.
Yeah, drives like a Range Rover should. Great viewpoint out the front. Easy light steering, as they all should have.
Yeah.
And these things are not fast. They did make a supercharged version of this. So it says suspension fault, max speed 30.
I was driving it like 80.
So yeah, so we're good.
I drove it at 80 down the freeway. So
I told you, Larry, as well. If you get into a Range Rover and you think it's perfect, you're missing something.
Yeah.
And so as long as the message is there, I don't really care.
Yeah.
As long as the speed limit's not in place. And we can always override that. There's little tricks and things that we can do.
Really?
Yep, of course. But
it's amazing you missed the entrance for the freeway.
Yeah. Well,
you want to get on?
We'll jump on here. Why not?
Get on. Why don't you? You might as well find out.
Yeah, let's go do it.
You got a long ride to Texas.
Yeah, and you had just been driving this thing, right?
Yes.
So the engine's warmed up. So we're going to go foot down.
It's been a few hours.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Does sound nice. Shifts nice and smooth, which is actually good because transmissions are a weak point on these. So I would say that feels good. Plenty of power to get up to speed. Sits nice.
I don't think I have a problem going to Texas.
I don't think so either. Getting from Texas to Colorado, though, we don't. You never know.
Well, it's because of the cold weather.
Right. Well, everything breaks in the cold, of course.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, but this ding for the suspension fault. I mean that is, of course, not ideal, but
of course
it's going to happen at some point or another. So we may as well get it fixed right on. But I do have to do 2,500 miles in it. But you're right. This thing drives.
It drove fine.
Great.
Drove fine for me.
Yeah, totally.
Smooth. It stayed down the road straight.
Yep.
I was impressed, to be honest with you.
I am as well. And the suspension fault actually just cleared itself right there. And now it's back on. So it seems to be intermittent.
Yeah.
But I got to say, the suspension thing doesn't really scare me. It scares most Land Rover people. We've already budgeted to get this car back into full working order. And so we're going to go through
it. It's got great bones, and I think that's what you got to look for. It's great bones and character, and it has a good engine, and the miles are low.
Yep, absolutely.
And I love the bones of this car because it looks marvelous when you look at it.
Yeah, it really does. The paint looks pretty good, and after Colton gets through and details the whole thing, it's going to be nice.
Yeah.
If I just go foot down, past the kick down switch really quick, no issues at all. Feels really strong. mean, that's 80 miles an hour, and
It did it for me.
yeah, drives like a typical Range Rover should.
It did it for me.
Yeah, so I'm pleased with that. Again, the suspension fault could be something as low as a sensor or as big as a compressor or air leak somewhere, but you just never know. But sounds like it's holding there.
Yeah, it's
And-
definitely doing that because like I said, when I took it down the freeway, I didn't know what to expect. My phone was on instant dial for someone else.
Right.
I had no clue.
Sure, of course. Well, you guys typically don't sell old luxury cars
No.
at the dealer.
No, we don't.
But-
But at the miles, we had to take a swing.
Yeah, sure. And I think you guys gave me more than a fair deal on it. I would say,
And I
the
tried to represent it correct.
yep,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Just show you everything I could about the car. Now I know it's a nightmare for you being on the other side of my FaceTime.
Yeah, it wasn't
I'm showing
too
you the
bad.
ground. I'm showing you my shoes.
Yeah, it
I'm
was-
showing you everything but the car.
It wasn't too bad actually, and I noticed some things during that FaceTime call that I made notes of, and I knew I
Yeah.
wanted to replace or
Yeah.
fix, and
Yeah,
sort of
good.
went into it knowing it's not a perfect vehicle.
Yeah.
But it's got, like you said, the good bones. The dash has no cracks in it,
Yeah.
other than just right here for some reason, which is
Yeah.
weird. But that's 2 panels. But the wood's in really good shape.
Yeah.
Everything looks really nice on this vehicle
Air
for
blows
sure.
cold.
Yeah, AC works great. Yeah.
That's nice and clean.
It's all good. So what do you say we take it back to the dealer now? I'll pay you for it. And then,
we'll get in the right lane. Let's go the other way. Let's
sure
have
thing.
some fun now.
yeah, we can do that.
Let's have some fun.
So there's some good roads here in Florida, really?
No.
Okay.
No.
Nothing like our Colorado mountain roads.
Oh, yeah, but you can't do that in Colorado.
Yeah, we got a couple little places we can do it, but not out on the ocean.
Let's see. In
That's
March.
right.
Really?
Not this time of year. Absolutely. No jet
Can't
ski.
be jet skiing. You might be snowmobiling, but not jet skiing.
That's a fair point. You are totally correct. But yeah, I mean, just drives as a Range Rover should, and this generation really is a strong one. The suspension's always been a weak link. Not
Well,
too
I got to
worried.
tell you, I was impressed because I really didn't drive the car until today.
Right.
I mean, I drove it around a lot, that kind of thing, but
Yep.
I put it on the road because it was important to me knowing that you were going to drive this back to Colorado. And of course, if there was issues, I would tell you
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
because I knew where you were going.
That's
you know?
right. This thing's going on a big trip. I could have had a transporter come and pick it up, but I
Yeah.
thought, let's make some memories. Let's have a good adventure.
I
I'm going
agree.
to meet up with some friends in Texas. I'm going to see a friend in Tallahassee on the way. So,
What city in Texas?
Austin.
Okay, we're going to go down to Congress. Let's
Okay.
go
So
forward.
straight through here.
Oh, I love Austin.
Yeah. It's a great city.
Great city.
Yep. So,
I eat too much food.
yeah, there's food. So it's South by Southwest is a big festival. So
Oh, yeah.
our audience will be keeping an eye on the next video, which is the road trip. And we'll see how many times we actually end up on the side of the road in this thing.
You know, I'm hoping that you don't at all.
I hope so
when
as
you
well.
do my reviews, when you go
Yeah.
back and do my 5-star reviews,
Yeah, that's
you're going
right.
to say Larry Garrett was fantastic.
That's right. You represented the truck as is with
Absolutely.
the issues, and nothing was really a surprise.
Absolutely.
So I it's not on you if it breaks down. Let's put it that way. That's on me buying an old Range Rover.
and it's anything that, I didn't see it. So,
Right.
but
Yep.
what I did see, it was a nice car. Does
Yeah.
that work?
Yeah. Well, we'll try it when we get back to Colorado.
Now that tells me something right there. Listen,
Once it's open and it gets stuck open, it's going to be
Yeah,
a
we're
windy
gonna
drive. So
we'll
we'll
probably this whole thing out. It's amazing to me.
So I'll catch up with you guys after I pay for it and it becomes officially ours. Let's see how this all goes. Well, I've just paid for it and they actually just let me put it on my debit card. So no need for a certified check. Thanks to the guys here. To be totally honest, I've bought a lot of cars over the years and worked at a lot of dealerships and worked with a lot of dealerships and just kind of know the business. These guys, super legit. Larry was awesome. They were very upfront with me about all of the problems with this Range Rover. And they were like, at first they were like, we're not sure we really want to sell this thing to you because we might just wholesale it. And I'm like, no, like I'm a Land Rover guy. I know the problems. We have a great shop in Colorado that's going to help us work on this and dial it in. And they're like, okay, but I really thought it was cool of them that they didn't just want the money. And I guess I should tell you how much I paid for it. They were asking $18,000 for this car. And that to me actually didn't seem out of the norm or out of the realm of possibilities, because another one with only about 3,000 or 4,000 less miles Just sold on Bring a Trailer for 25 grand. Slightly better condition, a little bit less rust, but 25 grand. I paid 12,000 for this. Figure taxes, they have a big dealer fee here. I'm about 15 grand out the door. So pretty crazy. Planes are overhead. They're right at the Palm Beach airport, as you know. So for 15 grand, I got a car that is nearly identical to the Bring a Trailer one that sold for about $10,000 more. So I think the deal is good. It's going to need a little bit of love. We got to figure out the suspension thing. I'm pretty sure what's going on here because the compressor runs. I tested that and it's in high suspension. The problem is the exhaust has a filter on it to dump the air pressure out, and it just gets clogged. So I just need to pull that off and it should just settle where it needs to go. At least we know there's no leaks in the air suspension because it stays high all the time. So I actually think that's minor. And I'll walk you through some more problems and things like that here, but let's just go get some food, fill it up with fuel. It should have fuel. I'm gonna check the oil. We're gonna get it all ready, and we're gonna make sure this thing's prepared to go on an almost 3,000 mile road trip from here to Austin, Texas, and then to Fort Collins. It's a lot to ask to buy a used old Range Rover and do this. So just to give you one final tour here, you can see the radio doesn't turn on. I'm actually probably going to fix this on the way back. My understanding is the Bluetooth module has failed and it causes this whole system to crash. But take a look at this. These are all little tricks, you know. If you push here for about 3 seconds and then you push here for about 3 seconds, you can bypass this menu. And you can even get it into the secret diagnostic menu here. I know the secret code from Land Rover ownership. And take a look at this. You can see we have key tests, vehicle signals. So for example, it'll tell you our voltage, plus 13 volts on everything. It's all good. Reverse gear is off. PCB temp tells us the beep tone and volume. And it's just all pretty cool stuff here. And if I just exit, you can see it has navigation, which works perfectly. It's an old, slow system. But actually, should we see if it can navigate us to Austin, Texas? Address? House number? Not sure. Let's just put in town. Input town name. Austin. Was Austin, Texas not a city when this vehicle was made? Perhaps it just has the East Coast maps and I need to load in the Texas ones. That's very possible. That's like old school nav stuff. So, okay. Select from map. Let's zoom way out. There we go. West Palm, not out enough. There's full out. Oh, home was right over there, right? Did you guys see that? Houston. Let's go up here, Austin. Somewhere around here, right? In one. Dallas. Should be, isn't it just southeast of Dallas? Is Austin? Like in this area? I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure it out. I'm probably not going to use. There it is, Austin. Boom. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Let's get this set. Come on, baby. Austin, Texas. Zoom in. This looks like downtown Austin-ish. Destination. Switch to a more detailed map. Sure, we'll just zoom in. Great. Right downtown. That's going to be this right here. Destination. Boom. Can it calculate it? No charging stops in this thing. Actually, let's take a look at our info here on the screen. So time is incorrect. Date is incorrect. Oh wait, it is correct, just in a different format. Consumption 13.9. We're going to reset that. 412 miles of range. So let's reset our consumption 1. And it hasn't done it. So maybe I need to reset our trip, which I think I can do just here. There we go. Our trip's reset. This is all good. Route's calculated, 1,262 miles. Let's hit the go button, hammer down, and off we go. So I can't thank you guys enough for watching another Kyle Connor YouTube channel video. Just a fun one, picking up my Range Rover. Who knows the stories and adventures the next video will have on this road trip. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. I am hopeful we make it with all of these suspension problems, and needs a little bit of love, this thing. Not looking forward to the repair bill when I get it home, but that's the nature of old Land Rovers. So thanks so much for watching. See you on another one soon. Bye-bye.